Okay, so testing out YouTube streaming right now. Not sure how my mic is, but uh let me just send a link. Mm, okay. So, um topic today. Well, honestly, first thing I could say is like I've done some covers of songs, so I can kind of promote my songs right now. Well, they aren't my songs, but more like covers of songs. So I uploaded all those covers on SoundCloud. So yes, you can take a cover of like I'm not sure like what the percentage is, but about 30 minutes of just recording. Like this is about 28 minutes to 30 minutes. You get 15%. So if I were to do math correctly, that's about 3 hours of you can upload to songs that accumulate up to 3 hours. So let me just post the link here. First, you need to go to my profile and then share this using this link right here. So yes, you can do any covers songs. So that's the start. And let me see if I can share anything. Oh, I think I see it. Okay. Well, so YouTube streaming itself doesn't have its own. I feel like it has its own. It just shares the webcam and you could type in chat and stuff, but I think you still have to use like OBS Studio if you were to record games. Which is fine. For the time being, I'm not here to like stream for games. Um, right. So the topic today, I think I'd like to talk about math. So yes, I've been solving calculus problems again, and actually almost done with all the topics now. With BC calculus, I just have 3 more topics, and then just practice questions. And actually, I still have 4 more topics. I take that back. 4 more topics, and then I can take some tests, and then get ready to tutor anybody in calc. Um, yeah. So it's just one heck of a roller coaster. Um, so like some of the most insane topics of tutoring, like just calculus in general, is just concepts that are a lot more in depth. So especially when it comes to like the exams themselves, when you look at them, you have to kind of really think outside the box. Like the exam is testing your um intuition. So intuition just means like your own kind of like thought process behind how the questions work. So like you have to start with like some basic knowledge and kind of build off that knowledge. So like you have this idea in your head and then you're able to build on that. So if you understand the concept of the question, you have like some idea. That's what you call intuition. So you hear that a lot when you get into college, so, like especially in like math classes, particularly theory based. So pure theory based. So when you listen to math classes, you hear the word intuition. So that's pretty much intuition in a nutshell. Um, in particular, with calculus, I would say the hardest topics, like calculus 2 in particular, well, the Lagrange error bound, it's not like the topics themselves are really hard. It's just that there's like quite a pool of like key things to remember. Like because each math class themselves, they all have a building block. So there's a reason that students take math classes chronologically. So starting from algebra 1 to geometry, then algebra 2 to pre-calculus to calculus AB, calculus BC, in that order because each class themselves build off each other. So like once you get once you're finished with algebra, note that when you're taking geometry, you still have to use concepts from algebra to solve questions. So for example, if you were to say find the area of the circle, which is a geometry question, um, then basically knowing how the formula for geometry or formula for the circle is important. And then you'd have to use algebra to solve the question. So that's why like each class, like you have to make sure that you are well aware of previous math classes because every math class themselves build off each other. So that's the one beauty of math because you have to understand that this is a logical based system, like where once you get older, you'll realize like math helps you a long way. So, yep, that's my passion for mathematics, and that's what I would consider like really how to interpret math as something that's beneficial in the long run because it is a very useful technique, very practical in the real world as we live in, and you don't realize that you always think, okay, math is that's not part of my career, but we use math every day. Like a lot of the things you see around every object, every trees, like there is math behind it. So you can talk about formulas, you can talk about perimeters, you could talk about areas, um, budget, cost, annual income. Everything is in those the lists that I mentioned are mathematics, and you have to understand that this is essential to helping you see life in a bigger picture. So that's how I see mathematics. And now let's talk about other things. So I think I started off promoting my music, and then I went to my topic of mathematics, about calculus. Um, and then afterwards, if I have any other topics to talk about, oh yeah, like I've gone to the gym today, and yeah, I feel pretty worn out. So like the thing about going to the gym is that gym isn't it's really taxing, like because actually for my case because like I'm not 100% like because I always deal with like back pain So physical pain that's just been like there for like several years, like, and I have to go to the gym just to maintain my health, just to try making my back pain um, more tolerable. So I do what I can to help improve it, and also like I love lifting weights. Like in particular today, I focused on doing chest press, row row workouts, just to build on my chest, um, secondary triceps, biceps, and my lats. So focused on a lot on like try to do like a whole body workout, but to do it in like a way that wouldn't really cause myself to like get injured because I'm afraid of if I were to really overextend and like work out while I'm standing up, um, wouldn't be the best situation for me just because again, I'm already dealing with bad back pain and if I were to do any motion like involving heavy weights while I'm actually standing up, then like especially when I'm squatting or if I'm doing dead press, deadlift weight, then wouldn't be good because um, body's not at 100% to begin with. Like you shouldn't work out when you're not at 100%. So like I have to limit the amount of weight that I can do just so that I don't accidentally injure myself. So like right now, like what I'm comfortable with is doing like 60 pound to 90 pound, like at most. If I were to work out, I'd go around that range. But if I were actually like 100%, I'd probably be like double that weight. So I'd go to like 120 pounds, 135 pounds without a problem. It's just right now, like I'm worried about like accidentally causing like permanent damage to my back, which I wouldn't want to do. So there you have it. So other than the chest press and the row workout, I also done some like ab presses. So I would go on the machine. So I go to LA Fitness and I do like 200 ab crunches there. So of course using the machine, like I stack 65 pounds there, and so I try to really feel that burn, um, and it does feel good to do those ab presses just because like for me it's really easy to do um, when I'm using the machine. Just because like to me 65 pounds is pretty light, and also it doesn't really put too much stress on my back. So I feel pretty good when I do it. Um, and like I was 205 pounds like last year, and then this year I'm like around 176 pounds, 177 I think. So I've lost quite some weight. Uh, so yeah, a lot of working out and like just dieting, but I'm not like 100% healthy eater. Like I still have to, of course, like make sure I maintain a good healthy diet. Can't see anything. Hold on. Let me let me let me do this. Wait. Share. Oh, oops. Share link. Copy link address. Wait. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I'm getting my friend in here. So I'll discuss like what I've talked about. Hello, Batista. So just to talk, topics I've already talked about was just calculus. I was talking about calculus actually, and just the fundamentals of mathematics. And then I was just talking about working out, and oh yeah, I promoted my own like covers of my album, which is on SoundCloud. So there you have it. That's pretty much a nutshell. And I was talking about working out just now. You have any questions? Okay. Um, then I guess I'll talk about working out then. So I was just thinking of sticking to like a workout routine like 3 days per week. So like I'm thinking Monday, Wednesday, and Friday would be good. And I just got back to the gym just because I felt like I really needed to go, and I wanted to like lessen the back pain that I'm dealing with, and also like try to stay fit. Um, so yes, I like for me like currently like what I really need to like work on is like ab workouts and it's just basically lower body workouts. I need to work on my abs, quads, and calves. So I think like otherwise like my upper body is actually I think pretty good. Like in terms of like my chest and biceps, triceps, and uh what is that other deltoids. Those are the ones that I feel like I'm pretty comfortable with. But in terms of like like I think they call it abs, obliques, hips, quads, like all around the lower body, I still really need to put in like a lot more work. So like I feel like 100%. So yes, today I tried to do a whole body workout. I couldn't really put too much on my quads, unfortunately. Like I think I did like 30 reps of like 60-pound of leg presses. But then like other than that, like I was doing like maybe 50 reps of chest press. So that's like 60 to 75 pounds, and about 40 reps of rows. That's like 65, 70, or 60 to 75 pounds, around that range. So, oh yeah, and I forgot to mention about my abs. I did like 200 reps of 65 ab crunches. How many sets of those am I doing? So, 4 sets. 4 sets of 10. 10, 4 sets of 10 reps for each one of those I've mentioned. So, except for the app, the what was that thing called again? The uh, the ab, the ab press. Uh, I do like 50 reps for each set, which 4 sets, so that's 200. Free weights, no, not free weights though. Free weights would be too difficult for me at the moment, just because I don't want to put too much stress on my back. I don't want to do anything wrong. I feel like if I use like weight assisted machines, that would help me, and like it wouldn't cause any accidental injury to my body. So until like I'm 100%, like if my body doesn't feel any pain at all, then I could actually move on to free weights. But for the time being, like I'm sticking with weight assisted machines. So I'm just trying to be smart about it. So like for me, like right now, I'm just ranging around like 60 to 90 pounds. Um, because if I go over that, like that would just put way too much pressure on my back. So like if my back wasn't feeling any pain at all, I could easily do like 120, 135 pounds, but don't want to. overdo it. So I'm just like sticking to like 60, 90 pounds. Um, Working out for me is like, have the exercise been helping you lose weight? As of recently, not so much. But then like in total, like if you were talking about like a year's time, like I did lose like about 30 pounds. So I think it would have, right? Because yeah, back last year I was like around 200 something pounds, literally, like almost 210 pounds. But like I've gone down to like 175, 176 around there right now. So it's like it takes like a consistent schedule. Like you're 175, so I'm about the same weight as you are. But like the thing is like I'm only 5'8", right? So like for me that's I'm in the overweight class actually. You'll first me. That's funny. I'm trying to go down to like 160 pounds. So like I don't know how long that'll take, but I would think it would take another couple of months for me to reach that. Naturally, I'd still have to figure out a good like it's not really the workout that I should be concerned about because like workout, I feel like I'm doing fine. But if it's more on the basis of the dieting, I just had to figure out what a consist ideal way for me would be 160 pounds, 160, 165 around that range. Just because then like around like I believe the BMI would be like around 26.3. So if my BMI is like around there, that should be fine. But my BMI right now is like around 27, 28, I believe. Actually, I'm not quite sure. I have to check out my BMI right now. 26.6 BMI. That's my BMI right now. The average apparently for normal weight would be 24.9. That would be the BMI at the that would be at the max. So if I were to write 160, let me just it'd be 24.3. So yeah, I think 165 would be good for me if I were to try that. But yeah, like the thing is, I I really have to figure out like a good uh diet. That's the issue. Because like the workout I can handle it, but then it's more of the dieting. So if I could find a healthy diet plan and like stick to it, um, then I feel like I can reach my goal faster. Because like if I can go intense if I really want to. Keto. Is it called keto? I have not tried keto, and I never heard of it either. Let me search that up. Let's see what keto is. It's a very low carb, high fat diet. Okay. Okay, well that seems pretty healthy. I guess I could take a look and try it. He lost 30 pounds and gained a lot of energy. No carbs, so no bread, rice, most snacks, basically lots of fatty meat. I thought fatty meat was a bad thing though. Like if it was like lean protein, then like I would understand because like the difference because fatty meat like what would you call fatty meat? Would you think of like saturated fat? Like if we were talking about like burgers and um I don't know, fried chicken, pork belly. Oh yeah, pork belly. I see. Yeah, that doesn't have quite some protein though, pork belly. Animal organs have high protein and fat. Yes, that is true. It is true. But also like I want to try avoiding food that have like high quantities of cholesterol because I think because like last time like when I had like a diagnosis of my cholesterol levels, it was significantly high. So I would try to avoid any food that's like high cholesterol because it wouldn't be good for me. And so I want to make sure like any meat that I have, it wouldn't increase it. Like rather, it would be very minimal quantities of cholesterol or not at all. Carnivore diet. Okay. Yeah. So I mean, the thing is, like, I can do my research on all of this and figure it out. Just for the time being, um, I still have like a lot in mind to go through. Figure every like diet, like all the food groups. Like even though I have like a basic knowledge of that, I'd rather like try getting into more detail about all this so like I can accurately pinpoint like what exactly I need. So yeah, would be good research and just very much analyzing the data and then figure everything out from there. Also, like I feel this is a lot more comfortable like going on the YouTube like live streaming, like I could easily see chat. Like instead of having to see it from Streamlabs or like Twitch itself, like I could just stream it here and then just boom, I see the chat right away. So it's easier. Also, I've heard a lot of like scandals about Twitch. Um, is this better than Twitch? So right, I don't know. The one downside is you can't stream games directly from the YouTube studio. And I'm not sure if this is true, but if Streamlabs can actually if you need to actually subscribe to Streamlab to be able to use YouTube um, to stream games. Like I don't know for sure, so I'm not gonna say much on it. Like right now, I can't test that, but maybe someone else could. Like a specific streamer we all know well, which I'm gonna link her website right here. I'm not sure. Wait, let me first. Oops. Aha. And here we go. So yes, this is someone you actually know. Um, and you could actually ask her. Um, also, like, right, as I was saying, like, there are a lot of Twitch streamers who've actually moved on to YouTube. So people from offline TV, like Lily Pichu and I think Ludwig too. Oh, actually, I don't think Ludwig's from offline TV, but it was definitely Lily Pichu and Fusli also moved to YouTube. Um, there that's that, and then who else? Saikuno moved to YouTube, and those streamers, they've had their own like rough experiences just from Twitch. Like with Saikuno's case, so Twitch actually sent him an email, and they had a typo, and that typo was in Saikuno's username, instead of having the Y, they had the U, and they sent the email as Sakuno. So Saikuno found that to be, at first he was really suspicious of the email because it's supposed to be a professional email. There really shouldn't be any typos, and especially with the Sakuna part, he felt that it was a scam or phishing. So it wasn't, and Saikuno felt that that wasn't that he wasn't going to tolerate that, and then he moved on to YouTube. And YouTube was more respectful of Saikuno, and so he chose YouTube. He pursued YouTube instead of Twitch. As for Fusli's reasoning, or Leslie, she moved on from Twitch to YouTube just because Twitch, she had two DMC strikes at Twitch for like several months, and she wasn't sure what's gonna happen with the third one, and then like Twitch just never really told her about the third potential strike. It's just you have two strikes, and like she had that kind of pressure in her, so she ended up moving to YouTube as well. So yes, a lot of bad stuff I've heard about Twitch for specific streamers. So we're at 33 minutes. It's 2:13 at the moment. So I'll continue the stream till 2:30, and then I'll just spend the rest of the day just chilling. Um, in any case, any other things we could talk about? Oh, right, September 12th. So yes, I guess I could mention a bit of real life stuff too. Like I also plan on going to Six Flags. So that will be in 6 days, and it is one of my friend's birthdays. And so I've been to Six Flags actually twice. Like twice. And the rides that I've ridden are King Ka, El Toro, Bizarro, Superman, Batman, Green Lantern, uh, and Harley Quinn. So I wrote seven in total. Um, and I have to say, Batman by far is the worst ride. Well, so far that I've ridden. Not because it's scary, because it's not scary at all. It's just that the ride is so rough, and that's the issue. Like that ride, like when you take the ride, when you're on the roller coaster itself, and like it's just the tracks themselves. It's so rough, and then there's just like a lot of
how should I describe it? Like the motion itself is just very rough. It's it's fidgety and it hurts. Like it's like you'll feel all that pressure going to your head, and like I've got a headache from writing Batman, and I hated it so much. It's just the worst feeling when you're actually like writing Batman. So like Green Lantern, Superman, those rides, they're not scary at all. Honestly, like I thought it felt really different, and at first it felt kind of uncomfortable because the typical when you're sitting on in a roller coaster, like in the seats of the roller coaster, it's just typically you're sitting, right? But it's the opposite when you're actually on like Superman, where you're not actually sitting, but you're actually like lying belly. It's like you're flat, and then you're kind of like in a plank position, if I'm being more specific. Except that you're not putting your knees down, you're not putting your elbows down. It's just like you're flat. That's the best way I can describe it. So yes, that's Superman, and then Green Lantern, you're standing while you're actually riding. But you're not exactly standing. You're kind of bending your knees. Like naturally, that's what the ride makes you do because of the way the seat the seat belt your seat belts are buckled. So I find that also pretty different and then not scary at all. Um, so I don't really see myself getting too scared of any ride because what could the reason be? Right, because I've I always try to like get that like excitement off, like just just live it, and that's how I see it. Like whenever I'm on a roller coaster, I always just try to like enjoy it. So I don't think I've ever had a time when I was really scared of a roller coaster other than like this one time at Coney Island, which I think shut down. But there was this one particular ride when there was like a spinning wheel, and the reason it was scary wasn't because of the ride, like because of the motion of the ride. It was more because like the ride looked like it was gonna break apart. And I thought it was gonna break, but it didn't. But like to me, it just felt very unnatural for the way the coaster worked, and I thought if the um if the mechanics had broke there and like I fell off and I would have died. And that type of like ride there was like ridiculous. So like I think like with each ride from Six Flags, I don't think there's any ride that would like malfunction and just like break out of nowhere. Like I haven't seen that happen. And if it has, like like, I'm not sure when it really happened at Six Flags. Like sure, like the systems shut down like for a bit, but I haven't heard any like incidents that's happened like that people actually died from like falling off the seats or like I don't know if they hit their head in the track. Like I know like I've heard like a couple of death situations that happened over Splish Splash. Like what in one particular ride, I forgot what it was, but there it was definitely one of those wooden wooden tracks. Like actually probably not wooden track, but I don't know what the how to describe it, but it definitely happened in Splish Splash though. So currently it's 9 minutes in. We're 40 about approaching 40 minutes. So yes, I have about 10 minutes. Um, just because I want to keep the time consistent, want to end this at like 2:30. So, anyways, do you have any more questions?
Okay. Um, so yes, I talked about Six Flags. I talked about some potential accidents that's happened. Uh, oh yeah, it is September. So yes, fall is gonna happen sometime soon. So I forget what the term for the first day of fall would be. Uh, but I remember like so there are four terms that we've learned in earth science to signify the first day of season. So for winter it'd be called the winter solstice. Um and then summer would be summer solstice. Spring I want to say is vernal equinox. So I'm not sure if for fall it's called invernal equinox or autumnal equinox. Not quite sure. But yes, there are like like those specific terms. Um, let's see what first day of fall is known as uh, in earth science. Oh, it's called the optimal equinox. What do you know? I actually got that. So yes, they're usually like around the 20th day of like whatever season. So yeah, those are like the terms. Um, the other one I'm not quite sure is first day of spring. I thought it was called vernal equinox, but I don't remember. Uh, oh, it's called vernal equinox. Okay, close. Vernal. That's much easier to say then. Yeah. So as it's approaching fall, like of course noticeably the weather hasn't been as hot, so that's a good thing. Like in particular, like I think like as of late, um, weather's been pretty like cloudy and some a little bit of rain, but not too heavy. But hey, like this beats summer by a long shot, right? Like God, summer was so painful, like going outside and just getting your skin burned and like just sweating. It never feels good. And you feel so like drained when you're actually like out there like in the sun and then getting bitten by mosquitoes. Well, so yeah, like for that reason, like my favorite season would have to be spring. Um, multiple reasons. Primary reason is because like my birthday's in spring. That's my primary reason. And then like of course baseball starts in spring, as well as like WrestleMania's in spring. And then right, the weather itself is warm. It's not like overwhelmingly hot, and you don't get bitten by mosquitoes. And also like it gets dark around like I believe like around 8 p.m. Like around 7 to 8 p.m., which is fine. Fine for me. I'm okay with that. Um so I love like just going outside during springtime especially. Like that's the time because I have no allergies. If I had allergies I would think differently, but I don't have any allergies, so like going out in spring feels ideal. Now I could say like the complete opposite of winter because for me winter the reason I hate winter is it's it's so cold. Like the thing about like cold weather is especially when you're going outside, like it just it feels so painful. That's the thing. Like when it's freezing outside, like the freeze like it numbs your skin, like actually numbs it. And that pain like it's so like unbearable. So that's my reason. Like I just can't stand winter for one of that. And also because like it gets very dark early. And I remember this horrible experience, like going to like getting out of Stony Brook, and then when I'm going home, then suddenly like the weather just so like it feels very lonely when you're going out of the bus and like just walking home and like in the dark and just it's cold, dark, and just it's hard seeing out there. And yeah, it just especially when you're wearing like heavy clothing, so like a heavy jacket and with a backpack on, it never feels good like walking. So that's why I hate winter so much, just because of those reasons. Never feels good. Um, I think I explained why I hate like why I hate summer, but like summer is my second favorite season. Actually, even though like I've mentioned about the bad things about summer, like I just prefer like hot weather over cold weather. Um, just because like with summer is the worst season. Mm, I just like for me it's winter. I hate winter the most. But like I mean, we all think differently, so like I probably know why you think that too. Um you're sticky and sweaty 100%. Yeah, that's true. Like winter you do have like utility, you have like clothing and everything. While summer, no matter what you're wearing, like your skin's exposed to heat, so naturally you'd start sweating just because, of course, science like it's it's basically when you're exposed to heat, your body starts to sweat. Yep. So it it doesn't feel good, of course, unless you sit in the AC all day. That's true. For a reason for me, like I would prefer having like going out in the summer, like sticky and sweaty over like just wearing heavy jacket boots. It's just because like I don't like wearing heavy gear. That's just the thing. Like I don't like going outside with like heavy clothing because like my preference is just always to be like lightweight, like just wear like what I'm wearing right now, like a t-shirt and like short pants. That's just my preference of like clothing. Just because I don't like I like always trying to feel light, not like heavy. So that's why. Oh, I love California weather. Yeah, maybe. Although the thing is, I wouldn't want to live in California just because it's quite expensive there. In addition, like I've heard about, if I remember Earth science, there are these tectonic plates. So I'm not sure if like I'm not sure exactly like what the science behind it is, but like because of like these tectonic plates, there's like earthquakes happening like frequently. So I I'd feel like if I were to go there, it'd be risky. Like, isn't it more like exposed to like natural disasters? Or is that Florida? Like, am I getting that mixed up? I thought it was in California too, like the tectonic plates and like with the earthquakes, natural disasters, tornadoes, hurricanes, whatever they were. Well, we'll save that conversation for another time. It's been 50 minutes, so Naturally, like, of course, I would want to end it in an hour, but this was a good test and it was a good talk. So yeah, I will see you next week. So it'll be next Monday. All right. Goodbye.